Hey everybody, John Gums, Dakota Grappler, coming live on a Saturday morning, bright and early, 7:15 or less in the morning. I am sitting at the Mandan Lions Wrestling Tournament here in Mandan, North Dakota. Gonna give a quick update here on YouTube and Facebook on last night's wrestling, and then also introduce what kind of tournaments are out there today. So, last night we had a lot of wrestling. I'm sitting here and I should have two cameras going. Hopefully we'll have the Mandan Lions tournament going. These are just a few coaches getting a few guys loosened up before weigh-ins or right after weigh-ins. I know a lot of these guys just got checked in, did their skin checks and getting their weight and everything down, but just having a blast here. And hopefully our internet connection will be great today in Mandan so that I could stream the finals here in Mandan. We have had a great day. So I'm going to first tell you about the Mandan Lions Wrestling Tournament from last night. The Mandan Lions Tournament, well, I tell you what, very great day. It was so busy that, I had a hard time following every bracket. But I'm going to take you through some of the team scores. And again, this is in the boys' side. Now, the girls' Mandan Lions tournament is being held over in Bismarck, actually at Bismarck High. And I will see if I can get through those also. So yesterday they went through solid 3 rounds of wrestling, and it's a round robin, basically bracketed. There's no brackets until they determine basically 2 sides. Basically, there'll be let's say a 4-man side to 4-man side. They'll take the top 2 on each side. But they score team points a little bit different, but they have 2 more rounds in the round robin, and then they'll take the top 4 and put them in one bracket so that 1 will versus 2 on the other side of the bracket, and then the other side 1 versus 2. And then on the bottom side, they will take the 3-4 guys and face them against each other on each side of the bracket. So the 3 will go against the 4 on each side, so that you will have your top 8 wrestlers right there. So team scores. Let's go from 11th place was Devil's Lake with 11 points. Then in 10th place is Mandan with 12 points. 9th place Killdeer with 20. 8th place Hettinger with 39. 7th place Legacy, Bismarck Legacy with 46.5. Then in 6th place you have St. Mary's with 51. In 5th place, who's going to build up, that's the last year's state champions in North Dakota, 56 points, is your Bismarck High Demons. In 4th place, you have Rapid City Stevens with 58 points. In 3rd place, Bismarck Century with 79.5. In 2nd place, Sturgis, who comes up from South Dakota with 81, so it's really close on the top 3. And 1st place is Riggs out of Pierre, South Dakota with 83. So there's about 3.5 points basically between 3rd place and 1st place. Basically going to battle it out today in these next 2 rounds to get position and then see what kind of places they are. Some of the big things, let me open up the brackets here a second and see what I can tell you. Now, if you need to catch these brackets yourself, they are all over on DakotaGrappler.com. If you just go to DakotaGrappler.com, find your tournament from Friday and open it up there, you should have right as you go inside, they should all have a small PDF, so you don't have to scroll through these tournaments with some of the ads sitting there and stuff. The web service I have lots of ads, and it gives me a pain in the butt here too, a little bit too for those that are watching, but it has to be what it is. So basically, as we look through here, 106 yesterday, I did see Cade Nujma wrestle pretty well for Bismarck High. As you start looking at these brackets now, I would just say go through one of the big brackets that I did notice has a couple state champions in it. Along the way, you find that get up to 160, but I don't know. I think if you just, as I go through each one of these tournaments, I'll just basically give some team scores and let you have an opportunity, because if I break down every one of these brackets, it's going to take a big, long show, and I just wanted to give about a 10, 15-minute introduction to everything else that's out there. So you can definitely, now let me go to something else here. I know there's an opportunity if a guy, I have some different settings that I can put on for Dakota Grappler. So as you're looking at me, I'm looking at the computer and not a camera. But I can definitely switch out to look at the mats right now as the kids look like they have their lunch buckets in hand. And let's just kind of zoom around the Mandan tournament there. Got some coaches. And I can basically flip around, catch some wrestlers behind me in different places around the whole gym. I know that there's a few teams eating over there and some eating behind us. But could be a very... Oh, it's one of the big things wrestlers do right after weigh-ins. Let's go find a way, I guess, to have a bite to eat, get some fluids back in them. But let's go through and run through a couple more of the tournaments that have happened as of yesterday and Friday. We have the Dan Unroot tournament. Now that's held in Wahpeton. And let's take a quick peek at that. And I know that Lisbon was leading that tournament with about 100.5 points, but let's go back, and I have to open it up on my side, so it takes me a couple seconds here. So I don't want to necessarily mess up what I'm doing here on StreamYard here too. Okay, Dan Unruh, Friday results. And those have brackets a little bit different. I could actually go through those much easier than a round robin tournament to basically give you a summary.
Coaches, if you have not turned in your Zach Meyer Award yet,
they are announcing stuff about the Zach Meyer Award here.
Do it this time.
But they're through the quarterfinals. The semis are this morning in Wahpeton. And as I go here...
Concessions are now open. They have coffee, donuts, sandwiches, and other stuff.
I probably hear the announcements here. I'm just avoiding them. But now let's take a quick at some team scores here. And in the team scores, you have Lisbon with 100 points, leading West Fargo Cheyenne with 83. They're in second. Third, you have Border West with 79.5. In fourth, you have Brookings, South Dakota. In fifth, you have Grand Forks Central. Sixth, Fargo North. Seventh, Sisseton. Eighth, Kindred. Ninth, Breckenridge Wahpeton. 10th, Ottertail Central. So you have 10 teams down there. Now into the brackets. Let's take a quick peek at how many these, and I know if they were in the semis or something, I could run through them. But again, this is over at Dakota Grappler. I see that the one and Lisbon's, 106. Kind of interesting there. You're going to see a lot of these wrestlers find their way into the finals, and I'll do a summary on some of that later on, probably today or tomorrow. Now, I did not have a Dakota Grappler Live this last week. I was a little bit under the weather, had a little cold, and pretty much over that. So I'm hoping to do either a quick show Sunday night or Wednesday. I'll have to work on the rankings tonight and see if we can get those done by midday Sunday while watching a few football games. I guess try to get some Class A rankings at least, and if someone gets some Class B, I know that ND Wrestling gets some of those rankings done too. That's great. He's over, and he does some stuff on Rockfin, so you might have to catch him over there if he posts some and stuff. So feel free to catch his stuff too. Anybody promoting wrestling is awesome. Okay, so let's go to the next tournament, and I'll give you this wind down. I know that down in South Dakota, down in Custer, they had a one-day tournament on Friday, and we can go through those final results. And that was called it was called the Bill Young. Okay, the Bill Young tourney. That is in Custer. So let's open that here a second. Sorry, I'm just trying to, it's a little slow here for some reason on the internet, and I don't want to crash StreamYard here. So I'll go through Velva too. I don't know what happened to my Bill Young stuff here. There it is, Bill Young Custer. In first place on that tournament, it was, I'll round out the things here. You have Spearfish with 99. No, it's not Spearfish. First place, Custer with 245. And you have second place is Spearfish with 199. In third place, you got the Sturgis JV team taking third. Very good there with a total of 169. In fourth place, you'll have Douglas, Rapid City Christian, New Underwood, and they had 153. In fifth, Burke Gregory. Sixth, Rapid City Stevens JV. In seventh, Harding County. Eighth, you got Hemingford. Ninth, you have Hot Springs. 10th, Pine Ridge. 11th, Dakota Tech. 12th, Newell. 13th, St. Thomas More. 14th, Hill City. 16th, Loon, and 17th, Red Cloud, or 16th, Red Cloud. So you had quite the big tournament just for a Friday there in Custer. So you can check out those brackets again over on dakotagrappler.com. Okay, then after that, you also have a huge tournament that's going on. I noticed some of the round robins and stuff in the Velva Invite. Now at the Velva Invite, you have a lot of the Class B flavor in North Dakota. And let's do quick team scores there. Team scores have Velva in first place with 142 points. In second place, you have Northern Lights with 134. In third place, Bowman County Beach at 133. In fourth, you have Harvey at 126. In fifth, you have Bishop Ryan with 115. In sixth, you have Williams County. Seventh, you have Carrington. So Williams County had 107, Carrington 103. Kenmare in eighth place, 94. You have Minot JV with 88. You have 10th place, Stanley with 74. 11th, Mondack with 68. 12th, Mayport CG. 13th, Larimore. 14th, Rugby. 15th, Newtown. 16th, Alexander. And 17th, rounding out the field, you have White Shield. So I tell you what, getting a lot of wrestling in there. And those brackets are tremendous. In fact, they go down to like 13th place and all the other stuff. So check out those brackets again. You see the round robin. It's going to take you a while to get through all that stuff, but it's awesome. Okay, then I know that we have a few North Dakota teams that go out to Montana to the Sydney Dual Tournament. And I think we fared pretty well. I did see Williston, Minot. I did see Beulah is out there, and Dickinson. And so they all have matches that got done there. And so as I open that up, let's take a quick peek if I have any major results there. I know that Williston beat Minot pretty handily in one of the duels. Kind of surprised me. I know Williston had a young, pretty strong team coming at the end of last year. And so you could see some big things out of that Williston team maybe this year. It could be a surprise. But I do see Williston got defeated by Oak Harbor. I know that Sydney has some teams coming in from way out, California, sometimes Washington State. Excuse me. I'm not sure where even Oak Harbor is. But they lost a close match, 28-26. And then Williston defeated Minot, 43-15. Williston defeated Rapid City Central, which used to come to the Mandan Lions, but is now out there, 48-21. And then Williston defeated Custer County, Miles City, 44-19. Then Watford City wrestled out there. Custer County defeated Watford City, 56-9. Lockwood defeated Watford City, 43-21. And Glasgow beat Watford City 42-24. Rapid City Central, South Dakota team. Laurel defeated Rapid City Central 34-28. Rapid City defeated Glasgow 44-24. Williston, I already mentioned that, defeated Rapid City Central 48-21. And then Dickinson was out there. Dickinson defeated Rapid City Central 37-36. Dickinson defeated Lockwood 42-35. Miles City defeated Dickinson 41-27. And Dickinson defeated Rapid City Central. Then there's another one for 37-36. That might have been repeated there twice. Then there's Beulah. Beulah Hazen wrestled Colstrip and defeated them 33-13. Harding defeated Beulah Hazen 29-27. And that rounds up all the results for Friday at that tournament there. If you want to check out the individual results, again, hop over, you know where, dakotagrappler.com, and you'll be able to click on the banner there and check out the individual results and weight classes and how those wrestlers did. Okay, I think that is the majority of the tournaments that happened yesterday. And from there, let's take a quick peek and see if I missed anything. And then we'll go to some of the tournaments that are happening today. Oh, let's go to the Mandan Lions girls. I don't want to miss them real quick and give you some team scores. Now, again, that is happening at Bismarck High. Okay, team scores. In first place, coming from South Dakota, got up here, you have Riggs, TF Riggs out of here with 69 points. In second place, Bismarck Legacy with 62. In third place, Bismarck High with 54. In fourth place, Minot with 41. In fifth place, coming up from Spearfish, is in fifth with 34. In sixth, you got the Fargo United with 27. In seventh, you have Rapid City Stevens with 23. In eighth, you have Century with 22. Ninth, you have Mandan with 20. In 10th, you have Sturgis with 14 points. In 11th, you have Hettinger with 12. In 12th, you have Dickinson, who I'm glad to see their girls getting to wrestle this year, with 11 points. And then in 13th, you have Beulah Hazen. So you have quite the crowd of ladies over at the Bismarck Gym. That is great to see. And you can check out their individual results and their round-robin tournament happening again there. So let's take a quick peek that's happening out on the mats across the state. So today you will find the Kimball White Lake Plankington Invitational happening in Kimball today. You have the Top of the Rocks in Del Rapids tournament happening today in Del Rapids. You have the Rider Boys Invitational. That's in Sioux Falls. I believe that's Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Then you have the Rider Girls also going there. This should be quite the tournament. Some girls will hop in there. You have Willow Lake Invitational happening in Clark. You also have the Flandreau Boosters Club Wrestling Invite. That's happening in Flandreau. Then you also have in Watertown, you have that dual tournament, the Marv Sherrill dual tournament. And then, man, that's pretty busy. You also have the Stanley County tournament. I remember going back to that in the early 90s with Mobridge. And so they'll be busy there. You'll have both a boys and girls division there. And, of course, you'll have girls wrestling in Watertown. You should have girls wrestling at a lot of these tournaments. And so that rounds out what is happening in South Dakota. And I could go through all the different teams, but this broadcast is getting a little long as it is. So let's also look at the other tournaments that are happening in North Dakota. Besides our Mandan Lions tournament, the Valley City or the Velva Invitational Tournament. You also have the Dan Unruh. So those are the three that go 2 days. You have the Jamestown tournament, the KC tournament happening in Jamestown. You also have the duels that are happening in Hillsboro, Central Valley, that is happening in the Hillsboro Gym. So the Knights of Columbus, I mentioned that in Jamestown. You also have the Napoleon Early Bird Tournament, Napoleon. And so you're going to be very busy with all those tournaments. Now, I wish all the wrestlers the best of luck. I know there's some youth tournaments happening. Those that are looking still, I'm not sure if you can still get in, but I know that Mandan is having a big youth tournament in North Dakota on Sunday here in Mandan. So it should be a nice day to find a way to the Bismarck Mandan area and hit that youth tournament for your younger boys and girls. Guess what? I will come back and meet with you later. Maybe I'll do a couple coaches interviews and just bring them over here onto StreamYard. Again, this is John Gums, Dakota Grappler. You guys have a great day. I'm hoping to bring the finals live right here. You can see this nice camera work I can do right here. I can zoom in on the mat, and we should have, hopefully you guys can hear me good enough through the speaker as the crowd goes wild for the finals. You guys have a great day. This is Dakota Grappler again. Let's promote the sport. Have some fun.